Most people believe that starting a business from scratch is risky. In reality, buying a ready-made business is often far more dangerous. Statistics show that most businesses fail, not because people lack money, but because they don't understand how business actually works. When you start from scratch, you are forced to learn everything: sales, clients, suppliers, mistakes, and real life processes. And that's exactly why businesses built from scratch survive more often. Today, I want to show you why starting from zero is not only realistic, it's often the smartest way to build a real business. My name is Ravi Gabis, and welcome back to the Gabis Show, where we unlock the secrets of real wealth in the United States every single day. We continue talking about business, and especially about how real it is to start a business from scratch. I will also share how I personally started my wholesaling and manufacturing business from scratch, a company I ran for more than 12 years. But first, let's talk about the advantages of starting a business from scratch. The first and most important advantage is this: anyone can do it. It doesn't matter who you are today. You might already be an entrepreneur and want to start a new direction. You might be an employee and want to enter business gradually. You can even start while still working a job as a side project. Starting from scratch makes business accessible. The second big advantage is safety. When you start from scratch, you don't risk losing something you don't have. You're not buying a business. You're not inheriting someone else's mistakes. You're building step by step. Another very important advantage is depth of understanding. When you start from scratch, you do everything yourself. In the beginning, you are a multifunctional creature. You sell, you negotiate, you handle customers, you work with suppliers, you set up systems, you adjust CRM, you deal with logistics, you solve problems every day. You see the whole picture as it is. And later, when you start hiring people, you don't guess what they should do. You can control sales, you can control marketing, you can control operations, and most importantly, you understand which parts of the business should not be delegated too early. All of this dramatically increases survival. That's why businesses started from scratch survive far more often. It's an inverse relationship, and it happens because of real understanding, not luck. Of course, starting from scratch also has disadvantages. The main one is time. In the beginning, everything is slow. You don't have momentum, you don't have a system, you don't have volume. You make your first sale, then second one, then you learn how to selling actually works. Only after that, you start scaling. And yes, in the beginning, you do everything yourself. There is no shortcut. But that's exactly how real businesses are built. Now, let me share how I personally started from scratch my company. Before my own business, I worked as a salesperson in a wholesale company. We sold polyethylene construction materials. At some point, I lost that job. It was winter off season, sales were slow, and suddenly I was on my own. Through my relatives, I was introduced to a man who already had a registered construction company. It wasn't a big setup, just a small office, a few desks, and basic equipment, including a fax machine. Like this. But that was enough. I didn't need luxury. I needed a place to sit, a phone, and a company to operate through. We agreed on simple terms, and that's how my entrepreneurial journey began. I started the only real way business starts, with sales. I built lists, called potential customers, I talked to them, I sent invoices, I signed agreements. Most of my clients were hundreds, even thousands of miles away. We never met in person. Everything was done through calls and documents. Deal by deal, client by client, that's how business is built. From scratch, we grew that company to millions in sales. And the biggest advantage of starting this way was not speed, but understanding. That understanding allowed the business to survive, grow, and scale. This is why starting from scratch works. This is why it's realistic. And this is why it's often the smartest path in business. I think that's enough for today. For more information, there is a link under this video. Tomorrow we'll continue and go deeper into practical strategies.